So I thought about vlogging while I was doing the stairs. Yeah, no, that's embarrassing. I was huffing and puffing, barely starting. So yeah, give me a moment. I think this is gonna be my third decline, and I'm trying to do at least 4 or 5, maybe 5. So yeah. Aw, look, there's a little deer that was on the trail. Okay, so it is apparent to me that I cannot record this video without Teddy's assistance. So, as long as he doesn't touch the camera, or move it, or yell, right? Ooh, don't do that. He'll be able to stay in the video. So, okay. So, last week, something happened to us, and it was not a fun experience, and it's still not a fun experience as we're continuing to live through it and kind of carry on with life. But something that I find very comical in my mind or in my life is, as I'm studying yoga sutras, like certain yoga sutras and stuff like that will be coincidentally aligned with like things that happen in my life. Like I'll read about a yoga sutra and something happens or something makes me remember it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just read about that. So I wanted to share with you the yoga sutra that I just kind of read about, and then kind of go into like what happened to us and stuff. So suspenseful, right? So, the sutra that I am very interested, that I'm kind of talking about in this video is from book 1, Samādhi, which is portion of contemplation, and it is sutra number 41. Just as a naturally pure crystal assumes shape and colors of objects placed near it, so the yogi's mind, with its totally weakened modifications, becomes clear and balanced and attains a state devoid of differentiation between knower, knowable, and knowledge. This culmination of meditation is samādhi. So a couple of notes that I kind of highlighted in this discussion of the sutra. If you develop one idea through constant meditation, all other thoughts and desires will gradually die away. In our daily lives, we see that. If you're interested in someone, you think of that person day and night. If you open a book, your mind will not go to the subject, but instead will think of that person. You will gradually lose interest in all other people and things. The same is true for yoga practice. Our concentration and meditation should be like that. And then, our habits will also slowly die and wither away if we do not give them the opportunity to manifest. You need not fight to stop the habit. Just don't give it an opportunity to repeat itself. That's all you have to do. Any kind of habit can be easily removed this way. And that is possible by cultivating one proper habit. The mind must have something to hold on to, so you stick to one thing and all other things die. So, it also comes with, the explanation also had like a little short story. And it's funny because it also correlates to the situation that happened, or the incident that happened to Patrick and I, mostly Patrick. So the story goes, there's this toll master who makes a living off of gaining tolls from people who pass by him, or he kills them. If they don't have money, then he kills them, and that's how he makes money. So one day he was confronted by an elderly man that was passing through. So of course he tells him like, hey old man, you have to pay a toll to pass. If not, then I kill you. So then the elderly man's like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll give you money. But how do you feel about all these sins that you commit, like killing people to make a living? And he's like, I really don't care about these sins because it's providing for my family. So then the elderly man kind of presses him further and says, all right, so how does your family feel about all these sins that you're committing to provide for them? And the toll master basically says, they don't really care. Because I am providing for them, and they are willing to pretty much go down with me for the crimes I commit. So this elderly man's kind of pushing him, like, are you sure? Like, I don't think that's how that is. Like, you're you're not really thinking clearly at this case. So then the toll master, to prove his point, went home real quick, kind of asked his family, like, hey, obviously, you know, the kind of line of work that I do, like, would you be willing to go down with me if something happens? And his wife and his children are like, no, like, you know, we're very fortunate and thankful that you're able to provide for us in some way. However, all the crimes that you've committed and everything is you. That was your choice of job. That was your line of work. That's what you do. So we don't ask questions. As long as you give us stuff to provide for, then we're happy. Other than that, if something happens, like you go down for a crime, then we're not going to be responsible for that. So then he goes back to the elderly man and he's like, dang, yeah, you were right. My family isn't going to be like essentially ride or die for me. So what do I do? How do I repent my sins and stuff? So the old man basically kind of tells him like, oh, you should think of something else, like concentrate on something else so you can clear your sins. And he was able to do that, kind of make amends, make it peace like with his previous life, and pretty much clear his like soul of sins and stuff. So the reason why it's so interesting to me that that story embedded into the sutra is because last week, Tuesday night, so around 6 p.m. and midnight, Patrick's trailer got stolen. And the next morning when he was going to work, the police called him and asked him, like, hey, do you know where your trailer is? And he's like, well, it should be here. And they're like, no, it's not. So apparently what had happened was at the job site that he was, and mind you, he does remodeling, so he left his trailer at a client's house that they're remodeling. The people that stole his stuff hitched his trailer and brought it basically to the base of Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And if you're kind of familiar with Colorado Springs, Cheyenne Mountain Zoo sits on top of a hill. So in order to get to the entrance, you have to drive up this windy hill. Well, his empty trailer was ditched at the bottom of that drive up to the zoo. So, that sucks. And so that was basically $10,000 stolen from us. But even further than that, I didn't know until I actually went to his job site just to see if he's okay and everything. His coworker / friend's trailer was also stolen. But the unfortunate thing about that is that they could not find the trailer. They couldn't locate it or anything like that. And it's still missing to this day. So the likelihood of us ever finding that trailer, probably not going to happen. So it is what it is. So I found it really funny how I just read about Sutra number 41 in book 1. Because, hold on, child crossing. Rude. So I find it funny because, you know, usually these petty thefts and stuff like that, I feel like people kind of steal from other people so they can make a living off of it. Obviously, like Patrick had tools that were in value collectively $1,000, and he takes very good care of his tools. So I'm sure that whatever they took from him, they can get a pretty decent price tag off of it, just the way that he takes care of his things. So it kind of made me think about like the toll master, where he's like, oh yeah, my family's gonna die for, like, gonna go down with me if something were to happen. Well, I also kind of think about the people that stole from us. Like, okay, like, you kind of justify, you try to say like, oh, well, I'm kind of doing this as a living to take care of my family and stuff. Well, that is your lifestyle. No one ever told you that you have to do this. You have to steal from other people in order to make a living. That's just your choice. So does it really do any justice to steal from other people who are trying to also provide for their family? No, not necessarily, but it just sucks that there are people with that mindset. And then it kind of makes me think about, like, their children. Like, your children are no better with you stealing, because if you go to jail, then yeah. So of course my battery died, and then I had to charge it because it completely died, and it takes a while for
to charge and turn on and stuff like that. And then my husband came home, and now I'm kind of getting ready for a shower. So he has the baby and everything. So I will kind of make it quick in a way. So anyway, as I was saying before, my phone died. With that story that was in the sutra that I'm talking about, um, it kind of relates to the whole thing of like, bad people trying to like steal from good people who are doing like honest work and stuff. And, you know, it doesn't really do any benefit or anything like that. Yeah, you might be like having a little step further because you're getting money and everything like that, but it's not truly like um, honest work, if that makes sense. So, and then like another thing that I had told Patrick was like, man, if they stole from you, at least instead of selling it and try to like get some money from it or anything like that, and that's the only thing, at least take the tools and try to learn a new craft, try to actually be a craftsman, try to actually be a construction worker or whatever. Improve your life because you're given this opportunity. I mean, you stole it, but you stolen the opportunity, so now you should be able to make your life a bit better than just being a criminal. Anyway, um so another thing that kind of drives me nuts in this whole experience is I have noticed that I have the tendency of like scoping out like trailers, like, oh, is that Chris's trailer and stuff like that, and that is very frustrating because that's a lot of time, and honestly, it makes me feel bad because I'm pretty much assuming seemingly innocent people, and I'm like being like, oh, you're the people that are doing this. No, they're also people who are trying to make honest livings, and they just happen to have possibly the exact same trailer. um yeah, and then when this all also occurred, um I kind of went on like a online frenzy. Like I post everywhere that I could think of to bring awareness. Like, hey, Patrick and Chris's trailers got stolen, and that's about $20,000 stolen, and we're trying to like figure out who did it or whatever. And the next day I started getting like a lot of messages from other people like saying like, oh, I'm sorry, like, oh, you should check out this person because it all seems like he has like a high supply of like tools and everything, and it just makes you question how much he or how he's getting it. And at the beginning when I was doing this initial shock is like, yeah, I want to find out who these people are. But really, what doesn't make a difference? Because now I'm also like focusing my attention and trying to find the people who did this to us, who wronged us. um One, even with if we are giving this information and we give it to the police, are the police going to take it seriously? Are they going to actually do something? Two, is is it truly the person that's selling it the person that stole it from us? Because if anything, they might have gotten it from someone else, and then so on and so forth. And now they're kind of like, hey man, I just got it from this other person, and I don't know where he got it from. I assumed. So really, it's just like a lot of like chasing tails and stuff like that, and no solution or anything. So is it really worth the time and energy for me to be pursuing these people and becoming an investigator? No, not necessarily. So really now we're kind of trying to focus on rebuilding what's going on. Thankfully, Patrick was able to buy most of the important tools that he needed. So he's still able to work. It just sucks though because the money that we were trying to save up because we got a new house and everything, um, is now focused on replacing things that were stolen from him. And I don't even know what is going on with insurance, but hopefully they do re they do reimburse him for what was stolen because it just sucks. And if it doesn't, then it's like, what's the point of having insurance? So yeah. All right. So long-winded. Finally got this video recorded, so I feel very accomplished. And thank you for listening to my long-winded story and kind of like talking about sutras at the same time. Um, so yeah. Um, Let me know if you like things like this. I like talking about sutras and or I like talking about yoga and like all the things that I've been learning. So, I can start doing more of this if you guys like. So, let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video.